Hello, everyone. We are unmuting. So, one moment, please. Say hi,
There.
everyone. We're
There we go.
live.
Hello.
We're all here. Except for little baby, because little baby can't make it this week, but it happens. Hi,
We are missing a little baby. Little baby.
For little baby to get a new job, Jesus Christ.
Yes, little baby needs a new fucking job. And they've been
On
hunting
so many
like
levels.
a crazy person to get a new job. Also, everyone
All
say
we
hi to
can do is
Melly in the
be
corner. She's just gonna be over here tending her meadow. Like a little cutie patootie.
Here, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go put my hair up real fast.
Jumping into Humblewood.
Very wise.
Pulling up my Badger character sheet.
Pulling up my physical paper character sheet.
Pulling up
Ew,
my
imagine
pants.
using physical paper.
I know, it's disgusting. But I actually love it, because it's fun.
Kibby, did you see the stuff I sent you?
Yep.
Cool. The chaos that is our home screen.
The fucking absolute shit show that's our home screen.
It is. It is such fucking chaos, and I love it.
One of these days in the middle of the week, I'm just gonna
Mezzy, I take
have a
offense to that.
different
I
home
do
screen
use
that's
real
fully
dice.
clean.
See?
Delete
Not
everything.
funny. I have so
Next, I'll be
many
using
dice.
real dice. Oh no.
I use real dices. I have literally about 10 sets sitting on my desk. I'm not even gonna get into how many that are probably on Kibby's desk.
You almost can't even see Badger anymore under all the stuff.
On my desk, 5. In my room, hundreds.
On my desk, I have only one, actually. I have another one right behind me, though. You can barely see Rhodey either. Eshkira is like the easiest one to see. No, actually, little baby's the easiest one to see.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I would argue that Carla is the easiest to see.
Carla.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, yes. Yes. Badger's therapist / cook.
Okay. I have returned.
Come back.
My hair is up. And no longer on my neck making me sweat.
I don't remember. Why is The Rock wearing a fedora?
Cause he's actually Rock the Platypus.
Because do you want him to just be bald?
Me? It's kind of his signature look.
Okay, what if I do this? Is that better?
And that could be any guy.
Maybe any guy. Oh no! Where did he go? Where did Dwayne Johnson go?
Ganondorf is eating spaghetti out of the back of his head.
God, I still remember that wolf howling Carmina Burana.
I still love our power scaling of The Rock with a fedora and a cookie, Ganondorf, and then Jake from State Farm.
Yep.
Hey, I will be right back. My Discord just crashed. Or is crashing.
Oh no.
Fun.
Okay.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Hooray.
Hip hip hooray!
And yet I can still hear you. What the shit? I just closed Discord and I can still hear you. What the fuck?
Check the,
Uh,
the thing is,
Discord, are you okay?
It,
Okay, I just reopened it and it's I mean, Yeah, like everything was fine, and then my Discord window just went black, and I'm like, okay, this isn't good. I should go ahead and close Discord.
She's having a
I'm still
moment.
hearing voices.
It
Just the
stays
voices in your
it stays
head.
in the toolbar.
The voices in my head. It's fine.
Discord stays launched in your toolbar, so it could be there.
I guess, yeah. But what I mean, I clicked on Discord and it came back up, and it's no longer a black screen anymore. So we're gonna call it good enough.
Good enough.
Yup.
Oof.
Yeah, like,
All right. Everybody ready?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Perhaps.
Might there be anything we can do to make it so that you are ready?
Perhaps.
You gonna
I'm
give me
ready.
an answer or just be a bitch?
I'm ready and a bitch.
There we go.
No,
That's
no.
what I'd love to hear.
You are ready, bitch.
You better work, bitch.
Are you a Little Caesars bitch? Hot
Fuck
and ready in
no.
5 minutes.
I hate Little Caesars.
What's
I haven't
everybody's
had
takeout brand of choice for pizza?
For pizza, ooh. Honestly, I go back and forth between Domino's and Pizza Hut.
I was gonna say, if I want shitty pizza, it's Domino's.
I
Domino's-
like Domino's deep dishes.
it.
The Domino's deep dish is good.
If money is not a problem, I do like Papa John's. If it is a problem,
Oh, Papa John's is good too.
Then I usually go Domino's.
My favorite, taking out the ingredients and then making it at home, because it's an activity.
That's true, and your
But if I'm lazy, it's Domino's.
your homemade pizzas are pretty fucking baller, so.
Yes, we did have really good homemade pizza.
Stop.
Oh, also, for context, you guys, for our next in-person, we are getting Jollibee.
What is Jollibee?
I've never had it.
Jollibee is, it's Filipino fried chicken, and they just opened one, near us. Like, literally, probably 20 minutes away from Kibi and Akuma.
Yeah, didn't little baby point it out to us when we were driving around?
Uh-huh.
And I messaged little baby about it when I saw the post about it, and little baby was like, yes.
All right, well then. Unless I get interrupted again.
ready for shenanigans.
I am ready
Last-
as well.
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Goku's still
powering up
for like the last 5 episodes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Brody's been powering up her Chonkla throw for 5 episodes,
Oh no, Badger run!
and all the other characters are just standing there watching her.
No, there's no point. If she's been powering up for 5 episodes, there's nowhere Badger can hide. It'd be like
She's
a railgun going through walls at that point.
She said, people of humble folk, lend me your strength.
Oh god.
It just grows in size like Kirby's Return to Dreamland when they use the sword, but it's just a giant slipper and it just goes and you swing down and it just unaimingly slams into Badger.
At this point, Badger's just gonna go find the BBEG and stand in front of him so that his sacrifice is worth it. So that the Chonkla takes us both out in one shot.
Suddenly just appears in like Castle Ravenloft as Strahd is talking to the fucking like people who are there to fight him, and he goes, "You fools!" And Badger goes, "Excuse me, sorry, I'm just gotta line this up. Could you take one step to your left?"
Miss Strahd would like to give you a hug. Don't question, I'm just gonna hold you. Yep, bring it in,
What
bring
the
it,
hell
bring
are
it
you
in,
doing?
bring it in.
It just crashes through the entire ceiling.
There we go.
Oh my god.
Now Badger can die happy.
We're all fucking insane.
So
You are.
you get back to your little campsite outside of that giant Emberbat Swarm arena where that strange small orb had finally been taken out by all of your hard work together, as Trevor, one of the tenders of the grove, has led you to where he saw this giant elemental figure, gargantuan in size, power washing over and overflowing. And after being told to run by his master and teacher, who unfortunately got swallowed up by some type of creature, Trevor made it back to the Council of Humblewood in Alderheart, who gathered you, the heroes, together, the heroes of Alderheart, to follow and try and figure out what's happening in the grove. What strange beasts are causing the new maladies as the ever-growing and ever-burning fire inches closer and closer to humble folk and bird folk everywhere.
That is true. All of our rolls were fucking awful last session.
They were.
Yeah, no, they were
Terrible.
garbage.
They were dying.
Absolute
Badger did the most by standing inside the swarm of bats and missing.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
a fucking disaster.
Oh my god.
Pretty dog shit.
But hey, by the law of statistical averages, that means that we're due for some good rolls this session.
Don't
You know,
jinx it.
right?
Don't
Right? That's how that works, right?
Don't
Right?
fucking jinx it. Knock on wood, or else you are gonna fucking jinx yourself, sir.
You're lucky.
Hey,
that
I actually have a solid wood desk, not particle board, so I can.
I can knock on my head.
The rest of you are screwed, but I'm covered.
Oh no,
You
I'm
understand
fine. My
that
dice
you
board
are-
is made of wood.
You understand that you're supposed to be protecting the wood, and now you're actively punching it.
Badger gets confused.
We all know who to blame when the rolls are shit. Is it Badger?
It's God.
It's God.
Blame
Is
God.
it God?
Badger just throws his head up to the sky. Kibby,
Yeah,
please save me from the dice.
no.
Okay, that's fair.
Ibik took over today.
Oh no, Epic.
I hate Dungeons and Dragons, for it is I, Epic. Instead, we're going to be playing real-life history book role-playing games.
I call the Roman Empire. That's
No.
right, fuckers.
No, you are all playing as peasants in the middle of Ireland.
Here's the thing.
Oh,
now,
Hey, look, it's the famine.
Ibik. Hey, Ibik. You better run, because Akuma's gonna come get you.
Oh, shit.
Leave
Dives
your
through a
girlfriend
window.
back.
if it were Ireland in the 90s, that would be pretty lit.
Hey, guys, I'm back. I was getting a snack. So, anyways.
Hey, I actually have family that was involved in that. So
In the 90s? I would certainly hope so.
in the Troubles.
In the 90s? I would certainly hope so.
I personally had
Bring
family.
right along.
I had someone who
I
was
had a
involved
family
in
once.
2001.
I once had an identity. So, as you have rested up with your short rest and start traveling back. Oh my god, who is getting Discord pings that are super fucking loud?
Me, possibly.
Why can I hear them?
Has
I
been
don't.
weird for anybody else? Like, my Discord has not been automatically turning on streamer mode anymore. I have to manually turn it on and off every time I stream.
Oh, that's true. Usually it doesn't.
I think that was me. I don't know.
Okay.
Someone get an engineer. I'm too gay for this.
It was homophobic. Pride Month.
No, our dice last session were homophobic.
No.
Yes.
The first session of Pride, and the dice were just like, haha, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because we were still using the straight dice. They hadn't updated to the gay ones yet. It was the first day. Now it's the gay ones, right? Roll 20. Stares ominously.
Oh my god.
Nope. That was my test roll, and it said no.
That was just a percentile. Percentiles are always weird.
They're always jank.
Except haven't we had like 2 100s this session?
This
Session.
campaign?
This campaign.
Yeah, but you've also had like a 3, and then a 5,
True.
and then a 2,
True.
and then a 47, because there's always one of them in there.
There's always.
Anyways. So we're back at our campsite.
Yes, back at our little.
Badger is recalling his dream about hugging Strahd.
That weird fucking.
Brody's sitting there like, who the fuck is Strahd?
And Badger doesn't know, but he's a really bad hugger. Like, it was all chest, no pelvis. My God, Strahd's homophobic.
I think I'm too sober for this.
Trevor takes 3 steps back.
Rhodey looks at him and just is like, I think that was the right thing to do.
Tell me that is not a homophobic hug when you are too scared to press your pelvis to your homie. That's homophobic.
And another 2 steps back.
Badger, I don't think you understand what the word homophobic means.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Homophobic.
Homophobic.
That is 100% what Badger thinks it means. It's when you're scared of the homies.
No, Badger, that's not what it means at all.
It's right there in the name, homophobic.
It's not homophobic, it's homophobic.
Well, that's just silly. Who's scared of homos?
Anyways,
Anyways. Ah.
Well, it looks like the fires have died down a little bit. Should we proceed onwards?
Yes.
What time it is?
I believe so.
What time of day is it?
It's like 4 in the afternoon.
Okay, so we are not camping for the night yet. Okay.
No.
Yes. Let us proceed onward.
Agreed.
I still have 1 spell slot left.
I have 7. No, sorry, 6. I have 7. You can go 6.
How do I check how many charges my weapon still has?
Click on your weapon in your inventory, and then it'll have a little box that says how many charges are there.
Rhodey still has almost all of hers. She's only missing 1.
I didn't use as many.
Okay, still got 1.
Cast, so.
You also still have 1 charge in your Gallus Feathered Helm, which you could use to cast Bless. You also still have 6 charges on your Club of Ice Knife.
Right.
Just, right.
Which, do not forget that you do have to be attuned to it.
It is attuned. Already attuned. Badger was smart for once.
This world coming to.
It kind of broke reality a little bit.
And as you travel through the burning blazes of the scorched grove, trees charred completely, small embers and coals still glowing slightly as the wind blows through, kicking up the ash of the scorched grove. It's hard to see as the wind blowing the ash into the air makes everything just this haze that hangs within the air. As you're walking, everybody make a perception check using sight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. So we're just over here being ableist, I see.
Yes. Listen, you're the one who decided to play a blind-ass character. Not my fault.
That is fine.
It was perception, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, Rhodey got an 18.
Badger got 17.
Let's see. Ashkira got a nat 20 into a 21.
God damn.
Everyone's like, oh no, not the poor blind kid. Poor blind kid gets a nat 20. Let's go. What was that song the other day? Because that's what my brain's thinking of.
That deaf, dumb, blind kid sure plays a mean pinball.
Fuck yeah, I do.
He's a pinball wizard. Yeah, it's a good song.
Right. And that's so great one with see.
As you're looking out over the landscape, the sun cresting downwards over the far-off mountains and hills. As the sun begins to set ever so slightly, that warm orange glow taking a bit more of a sinister turn as those flecks and specks of black ash float in front of your faces. And you see a piece of that blazing sun. But it's not over the horizon, no. This light is much closer. A giant pyre, a pillar of fire, standing, moving, walking, ambulating. Maybe a good couple thousand feet off. This approximately 30-foot tall pyre of flames wanders, pacing back and forth, grasping at things too small for you to see.
Guessing we're too far away from my divine sense.
You're a few thousand feet away, so yeah.
I couldn't remember what the range on divine sense is. I wasn't sure if it was just anything I could see or...
Divine sense is like 60 feet.
Okay. But just from looking at it visually, I would like to go ahead and make a check to identify it from my lexicon of outsiders.
Sure. Roll history.
History. Pretty good for Badger.
Badger, when it comes to the things that you're interested in, your mind is pretty much a steel trap. But your trap does not contain this creature.
Pulls out a Pokédex, flipping through it. Badger doesn't know that one. And then he just like gets this most excited grin. Interesting.
It's a new discovered Pokemon.
You know, there's a tradition. First one who kills it gets to name it.
And you can't help but think of the tale, the fable that was spoken of not too long ago for you, just about a day, by that other strange tender, the one that is definitely gay with Trevor, though Trevor will never admit it. Speaking of the forest fires of old, powerful, otherworldly magics that could possibly dissuade them, but backfiring, the primal ancient magic infusing with the flames to create a being of living fire, grander than any fire elemental known before. Thanks to the grace of the Amaranthines, able to lull the blaze into a quiet slumber. This great blaze that you can see, maybe they weren't too far off.
Maybe some truth to the old stories.
Hey, be careful. It's just up here.
Ooh,
Just
we're on a
around
map.
here. I remember that stone. That large stone. Somewhere around here is where my master was taken.
Badger would like to cautiously approach the stone, keeping an eye out for dangers, and look for tracks that might tell where his master was taken.
Okay. Make a survival check and feel free to move along the map. Anybody, you may
plus
move
one.
anywhere.
Mid.
As you're walking through the heavy, thick ash, your feet sink into the ash by about a foot and a half. It is deep ash.
Almost like walking through snow.
Pretty much. Doesn't quite stick to you the same way that snow does, and it doesn't really stick to each other. Just creating this large clump of, like, dust.
Guessing we still leave, like, trails as we, slough through it.
Yeah, as you're, like, walking through, Badger, Ashkira, Rhodey, you're all tall enough that you're making, like, proper footprints in the ash, where Trevor is kind of just making, like, a line or trail through it.
Mm-hmm.
The ash is too thick. There's no way to see where he might have gone. Any tracks that would have been left are long since covered.
You say that as dropping a bit of ash through the air and the heavy wind blows it aside. What
Turning
else are
to-
you doing? Continue.
Turning to Ishkira and Rhodey, What do you think? Do we try and take on that thing now or after we've rested?
Mhm.
I don't know that it's wise to take it on right now. It's not what we're here for, right? Or, remind me, what are we doing out here? We were looking for his master, right? That's the main reason.
Mm-hmm.
And witness like what he saw.
You're looking for any, like, anything strange, anything you can glean from the situation, and to hopefully get retribution and revenge for whatever killed his master, or find his master if he is still alive.
Was that Kira kind of gestures towards the giant moving pyre? Was that the thing that took your master, or was it something else?
No. That was the thing that drew our attention before we noticed the shifting ground.
Right, it was the thing that was burrowing through the ground that took his master. Ishkira, you're good at, like, seeing without seeing. That thing you do where you just know things there without, like, using your eyeballs is. Can you come take a feel? Can you come do your thing over here?
Kira's gonna approach the big rock. And she's gonna...
If we're talking about burrowing shit, Martin might be able to go, like, through the ground and see if there left any tunnels.
Kira's gonna first, kinda... Yeah, she'll have Martin... Do you want to check underground, look for any tunnels? But while you do that, I'm gonna see about communing with some of the spirits around here.
She's communing. Badger's going to take up a protective stance because this definitely feels like someplace that we might get jumped at any second. So Badger's kind of like keeping an eye out, keeping guard.
Okay. Feel free to move Martin around wherever you want him to go.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm gonna have him kind of do like a circle around this rock to start.
Okay.
And kind of go around that way, but yeah.
You guys just see Martin's tail is like straight up out of the ash and just moving through it like a shark fin.
Imagine the Jaws theme.
Nom 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 nom. Nom noms nom noms nom noms 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 nom 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 nom. I found a stick.
He stops for a second, then jumps up behind Trevor. Hi, Trevor.
I found a stick. Ah, God, don't fucking do that.
Fucking.
Deserved it, you fuck.
Goes back to doing his thing. I fucking love Martin. He's such a shit.
Ashira,
Yes.
I would love for you to make me a nature check as you close your eyes, push out your senses, trying to call spirits of this area.
16.
16. As you close your eyes, wait and think for just a moment. You call upon spirits. You get a few different ones. Little butterflies with ash drifting off of their forms and flaming wings. Small fireflies that seem to be carrying a burning coal. A stoat whose tail is a perfect blaze that follows their charred form. More and more creatures. An elk with flaming antlers walks from behind the stone for just a moment before disappearing. A red fox flying through the air dives down into the ash before leaping once again.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's like an unusual number of elemental spirits.
Yeah,
We never see
There's
this
a
many
lot.
at a time.
there's a lot of spirits of flame. And the one
Kira, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
the one that stops before you is just a little mote of ash, round ball, kind of like the dust sprites from Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro.
Mm-hmm.
Little dust spirits that float up to you. It's got two big eyes on it and floats up,
She kind
lands on your nose.
of so many of you. Alarmingly large number of you. Can I? Because I know I have. Let's see. Something I've been holding on to, but honestly, I think it'd be useful here. I have a thing that lets me not cast anything, but I have a speak with spirits, and I can ask 5 questions. I've had that for a while. I just haven't used it. I think this is the best time to. She kind of gives attention to the dust sprite. Can you tell me, or give an impression, of what happened here?
It turns its form back and forth before leaping off your nose, diving into the ash below, disappearing. And then popping up about 20 feet away and dragging out of the ground. You see a fire, flames that have taken on a bird-like form, resembling a weeping corvin. And as the dust sprite pulls it up and its head turns around to meet you, this is the form that you see.
Love the artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And as...
So we're all seeing this, or just her?
Oh, all of you are seeing this.
What is
As
the
it
the
appears.
expression on the bird's face?
Sorrow. It is weeping, crying.
Hmm.
Small little drops of what look like alchemist fire or magma fall from its eyes and sizzle upon the ash before dissipating. And it walks up slowly, tears streaming down its face. You ask upon the spirits, and I can answer. Trevor rushes forward. No. Rosant. Trevor. I'm saddened to see you here. No, Master, it is fine. I escaped. We're here to avenge you. young fool. Walking into danger. Who are you trying to take after? You, obviously, you old coot. The introductions must be brief. I am Rasant, former grove tender of the autumn winds.
Nice to meet you, Sant. I'm Ashkira, Babylon, from the far-off land.
So he died and turned into an elemental?
You want to use your divine sense?
Yes.
Badger. As your sense goes out, you take a deep breath in, and you feel a mixture of things. This spirit that is here, it is still barely tied to the inner layers of mana and nature of this plane. It is flickering between material and outsider. Like he's holding to be here for just a little while longer. Holding on to some lingering attachment.
So is he pinging as native elemental or outsider elemental or both?
He's pinging as native humanoid, outsider elemental, outsider undead, native undead, native elemental. It's a big wash, almost like his form is still in flux, not knowing exactly where to tie itself to.
Badger's never seen anything like this before, but Badger would like to try something.
What do you want to try?
An old Grey Knight prayer to ground him to this reality. To anchor him.
Okay. Make a religion check.
Badger gets down on one knee, bows his head, and says, "You who were ripped away from this world, I give you tether to this plane, that you may stay as you need." Oh, God.
He looks over at you and says, "No. I know I am not meant to stay. But my duty is for information.
Yes.
I stayed so I could pass on what I saw.
Tell us.
5 questions.
What took you?
A large form. I did not see it. Fangs atop and below. Its innards hotter than a furnace. Long whipping tongue, it did not chew, merely consumed and swallowed.
Can Badger whip out his Pokedex?
Here, make another history or arcana check, or nature check.
What did
I think they're all the same for me.
11. You start racking your minds trying to think of it. We'll get back to that in a sec.
Okay.
What brought you out here in the first place?
Tending to the grove, attempting to dissuade the raging fires. We saw reports of ember bats in the area, acting strangely, almost compelled to be more violent rather than hungry. Trevor and I were led by perch guards. The perch guard fled once the swarm of ember bats arrived.
Damn.
We broke off from them, managing to make it here.
Did the creature that take you also feel compelled? I know that might be a bit of a stretch.
It was so fast. But I do not believe it is of this world. Called here from plains of fire and flame, from the great blaze that continues to burn.
She kind of turns to the others because she's not really sure what else to ask, and we have 2 more questions.
Yep, 2 more questions.
Okay, so what do we need to ask?
Badger's going to do the smartest thing he possibly can do and physically hold his own mouth shut.
That's a good idea.
Like, he starts to open his mouth. No, Badger, don't do it.
I think it would be maybe wise to ask something like, if he saw any kind of, like, orb powering these things. Because we saw the orb that was inside the swarm of ember bats. I almost said ender bats.
That'd be a lot more scary, in my opinion.
The new Minecraft mob, ender bats.
Yeah. They don't like being looked in the eye.
Yeah, if you look at them...
It's just flying, teleporting Enderman.
Oh, God.
But they're all really, really small.
It's really, really tiny Endermen. They're all cosplaying as bats.
Purple square. Purple square?
Isn't that just, like, the phantoms, essentially? Phantoms are basically just ender bats.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're much bigger.
Oh.
So, do you ask about the orb?
The-
I don't...
Yeah, I would say that Rhodey would just at this point go ahead and ask and be like, when you were observing it or being eaten, did you happen to see an orb inside of the thing?
I fruitlessly attempted to heal my wounds while trying to escape. Deep in the pit of this creature. Kept getting hotter and hotter. Whether a heart of some kind or other power source, there was some strange whirling force too bright to look at. There was something inside of it. I'm not sure if this is the orb that you speak of, but I do not recall anything external from it.
She's just asking Ashira, we have one more question, correct?
based on what we found earlier, the ritual circle, the spell book, I'm wondering if there was anyone else here. Anyone he might have saw out of the corner of his eye that
A humanoid.
wasn't supposed to be here. A humanoid, yeah.
Is that your final question or just speculation?
I think, do you guys agree that we should ask if they saw a person?
Yeah.
Because honestly, that's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
another thing. Okay, yeah. So she'll kind of turn. Did you, in your travels out here, when you were taking anything, see hint or hide of a humanoid that might have been behind this? We found spell scrolls and a book that might indicate that a lot of these fires aren't natural. That something might be helping them along.
I did not see anyone in specific, but in the brief window of time since I have been clinging to this world still, there is something strange. A branch, piece of wood that refuses to burn in that southernmost pyre.
Here.
I'm pinging it.
Oh, here. Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
Rasant, do you have any requests, any messages for anyone? Just one. Whatever this creature is, or how it got here, you must use all available resources, no matter how draining and vulnerable it may seem that we become. We must stop it. Tell that to Speaker Beta. As you wish.
Kira gives a nod and then says a little prayer. I don't know in what language, but she says probably primordial because it's one of the ones she speaks, and she's just gonna wish him a peaceful passing.
Badger's gonna try one more thing. His Badger's heart is absolutely breaking to see a mortal spirit being consumed, being turned into an outsider. This is absolute sacrilege to him. I would like to try and burn a charge of Channel Divinity to do the only thing that Badger can think of, which is he throws his head up to the sky. Gibby, please. He can't go on like this. Let this man find his rest where he's meant to.
Oh,
Fucking Monty Python?
He's gone.
I love that you're doing the fucking vocalization from The Little Mermaid too.
You're welcome.
That was so good.
Oh.
Giant hand reached out.
What did the rest of the party see when that happened?
All of you saw a flash of light that wrapped around Rassant's form and slowly lifted him upwards past the ashen clouds before vanishing. Badger, you straight up saw hands just coming from the sky and grab him and like carry him like a little bird and pull him out. And I will give the spirit of Rassant to the baby robins that often perch outside my window in real life.
They're so cute.
So for the first time, the party saw Badger speak to this mysterious Kibby that supposedly only lives in Badger's head, and something actually happened.
Yeah, Badger said, "Kibby, please," and just this giant flash of divine light out of nowhere wraps around him and whisks him away.
Rhodey is just sitting there thinking to herself, if it wasn't so dangerous to pull out alcohol in a situation like this, I would be drunk off my ass right now after what I just saw.
Kira kind of just like, huh. I guess I've seen
Badger's insane as he seems.
Kira's gonna start kind of use her blade to move some of the things around to see if she can find the non-burning stick.
As you poke through the coals and ash and flick them to the sides, the charring wood, you see very, very clearly, covered in ash but not ablaze, and in fact almost repelling the fire around it, pulling out what almost looks like a torch, but with no cloth wrapped on the end. It has a tiny bit of a smoldering end to it, but it itself remains whole, and even has some very nice grooves dug into the very base of it that seem to be like a good handhold. As you reach down and pick it up, go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Sure. That is an 11.
11. The finger holds for you are too long and too wide, each of them. And they seem to fully wrap around this torch-like thing. You doubt that it belongs to someone of your lineage.
I'll kind of amble my way back to Rhodey and be like, "Hey Rhodey, look at this. The non-burning stick you mentioned. It looks like it has grooves here. I'm not sure what sort of creature would make them, though."
Did Badger's Pokedex turn up anything on the burrowing creature?
As you're flipping through your ledgers and notes that you've picked up from a few different night outposts from what you've seen, and even...
So there are other outposts.
Well, there's there was the old Madra fellow who lost his husband who kept a bunch of that stuff. He gave it to you.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So from there, you're kind of flipping through some of these notes, and you find a passage. It says, "Through heated earth, as stones shall break, Magma flows through earth once quaked. For once, you find this ashen snake. The flames and fire you shall intake.
Badger will make his way over to the others and show them his notes. Badger thinks we're looking for a giant snake.
That would make sense. Fangs.
Considering the
Tom-
burrowing.
The burrowing, the being swallowed whole. Most reptiles do that, so.
And it specifically is drawn to areas like this with quakes and fire.
Just real quick, Rhodey's gonna take the stick from Ashkira. I would like to roll a religion check to see if she can kind of recall if there's any sort of magical rites that something like this would be used for.
Make an Arcana check for me.
Arcana. Okay.
Oh, I still have coffee left.
Hold on, where? Ooh, let's go. That's a dirty 20, baby. Or wait, no, that's a 22.
Nice.
As
Rhodey's
you-
rolling.
As you look over this wand, within the grooves of it, this large... It's a bit large for a wand. It's kind of halfway between like a wand and a rod. But as you look over this torch, in the burning ember smoldering on the very tip of it, you hold it up parallel to the wind that blows across it, adding fuel to it. And all of you watch as a rune begins to glow from it. Rhodey, this rune you recognize quite easily. It is a simple, common cantrip that has been not outlawed within Humblewood, but heavily restricted on its utilization, only to be used in dire circumstances, even though it is one so easily learned. This
Fucking cantrip?
is Firebolt.
Oh.
And as you hold the wand and shift it around and swing it slightly, those embers of that rune burn into a small orb that you flick forward towards a stone next to you, and it bursts upon impact.
So it is
This
a
is
wand
known-
of firebolt.
This is known as a Firebolt Flicker. Not only used to cast Firebolt if one does not know the cantrip, but if one is already knowing of the cantrip Firebolt, it will empower it to make it slightly stronger, adding an extra d6 of fire damage on a hit.
Damn.
Do any of us know firebolt? I mean, I don't, obviously, but...
I don't think Rhodey does.
Do any of us honestly know fire spells in a fucking campaign? That is
Yes,
very
Ashkira, you know Conjure
anti-fire.
Lava. You know Create and Harden Lava.
I do,
That's a fire spell.
but I don't use it often. It's not
Man.
currently prepared.
I'm so tempted to ask for it because Badger doesn't have a lot of really good ranged options, but Badger would be looking at it like it was uranium.
Rhodey definitely relays all of this back to everybody. And she's like, I simply think that these are what's causing so much of the damage. I mean, just look at how it reacted to the wind. And we can see that there are other pyres like this one that we pulled the staff out of, right?
Or like a rod or a wand, but yes.
Yeah.
It's like a torch in size, you know.
Badger suddenly gets a horrifying idea and runs over to a different one and starts searching for a similar wand.
As you start pushing and, shifting through it, you don't find anything.
Checking this one over here too.
Nothing.
Kira's gonna take back the firebolt flicker.
Yeah, Rhodey will hand it back over to her.
I don't think
Trevor
it's wise to use
says-
it anyway.
Can I take a look?
Of course.
And as Trevor holds it and wraps his feathered wing around the grip, his feathery, almost fingers of his wing grip into it almost perfectly. Just a little too small. And he shows all of you. Well, that might answer who used it.
Bird folk, but someone bigger than you.
That leaves an owlin, a gallus, or a corvum. Maybe a gruy, but feathers are too long for this.
Could Rhodey remember if there are any of those types of people on the Birdfolk Council at all?
Yes, there are. There's one of every species of birdfolk and one of every species of humblefolk on the council.
Are you thinking one of the council is behind this?
I'm thinking it could be a very strong possibility.
Oh, Badger has even more reason to go and kick their asses.
Well, you have to remember some of the Birdfolk Council didn't stay after the Humblefolk Council was made.
And some of the Birdfolk Council were very actively interfering.
Yeah, they were not wanting to send the aid that was needed.
Kira's gonna take it and she's gonna put it in her pack. I think we need to look elsewhere.
Your juice boxes are getting warm. Dang it.
Little baby's gonna come back and be like, "Why are my juice boxes warm? I trusted you, Ashkira."
She puts
Quick,
it...
put the club of ice knife in there too to act as an ice pack.
I'd imagine if little baby's been riding around in there this whole time, she's just gonna start using it to make s'mores.
Oh, Ashkira, by the way, did want to ask. Never mind. I wanted to remind you have been traveling since that camp for 2, maybe 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So bonded spirits is no longer up. So.
Mm-hmm.
And with the location that you're in, you only see 2 types of spirits.
Yeah, rock and fire.
Given all of the fire elemental energy just all over the place, how is Charles looking?
You look up at Charles, and he's just kind of glancing at the fire, and then he kind of giggles, just...
You okay, little buddy?
Huh? Oh, yeah. The fire kind of looks like boobs. See? Like this one, that's the right titty, and that one's the left titty.
I mean, they're a little uneven, but that's normal.
Yeah, no, I'm chill. I'm chilling.
Okay.
Chilling,
wanted to make sure he wasn't like, wanted to make sure that it wasn't like that he wasn't being influenced like we've seen with the Ember Bats and shit.
Nah, dude, I'm bonded to you, bruh.
Do you want me to, speaking of finding spirits, does anyone want me to recast it? It'll take us a while. While Martin's circling he's basically doing a like Fibonacci spiral. He's just kind of going out as he like spirals, getting bigger and bigger as he's searching the area, just going in circles.
Here, could you make
Your
a
bonded spirits don't last that long. We probably want to wait until we're sure to need them.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily the safest location to be trying to ritual cast in.
What were you saying, Kibby?
Could you make a perception check? We're using your perception score, but this is Martin doing the perception check
Okay. That is
as he's patrolling.
Ooh. Dirty 20.
Okay. I have to roll something as well.
We just see the tail going around.
And it's at that point where he is circling and circling and circling around and around and around and around and around and around. And he's wandering back around the pyres through here. And he shifts over and goes, uh-oh. And leaping up, jaws clamping around Martin's form, flying up through the air, bursting out from the ash. You see the ash snake. As Martin's just kind of standing there as its form is going through it and just goes, I saw the orb that old man was talking about. It's in there. As the snake coils up, realizing that Martin is not food, turns its sights towards other venues and releases this hideous... I need everyone to roll initiative.
Woohoo! Martin found it!
Good boy.
Good boy!
God damn it. Badger needs to use the little paladin's room before we get started.
That's fine.
Oh,
He has less dexterity than I do, right?
Who?
Panda. Or Badger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Badger's dex is pretty garbage.
Okay. Yeah.
15.
I also got a 6. Thank you for the hydration.
Yo, Trevor got a 17? Let's fucking go. Oh, it's so spudly to see you. Seshkir, you got a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Badger got a 6.
Well, Badger, what's his modifier?
Badger has +0.
Oh, then 6.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the snake. It's the
Unless anybody has anything they can do about that.
Oh, hey, Stolen Ring of Alacrity.
Alright, so I have to make a save, is that right?
Here, hold on, let me take a look at it. I didn't realize that was, like, being a problem. DC 13 Charisma saving throw, or swap the total of its initiative roll with yours.
Oh. Alright, let's see. Charisma save? Oh, this thing's got a great charisma. Just look how pretty it is. You guys actually can't see it too well. Here, let me give you a good picture of it.
Zoom.
Evil.
That's what it looks like. Right there.
Oh, it's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just look how cute it is.
I want one.
3.
No, sorry. Sylvie wants one.
Alright, so Rhodey, your initiative is now 22, and the Ash Snake is 15.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvie definitely wants one.
Now I have the higher initiative. Fuck you, dumbass snake.
How dare you?
What would Sylvie name this?
Back, had to feed the void.
Welcome back. Rody used her Ring of Stolen Alacrity to
I
take the
heard.
natural 20 that the Ash Snake got and swap it with herself. So,
Oh, I know what it would be. It'd be Yakisoba. Maybe.
Yeah, when Rhodey spins the ring, she looks this thing dead in the eye and just flips it off.
Nice.
It's actually, well, no, she doesn't have fingers. Yeah, so she just is, like, very clearly gesturing like she's flipping it off. I was gonna say it's on her middle finger, but I was like, wait, no, she just has little, like, bee, like, little insect legs.
there we go. Need to make sure I set this one to the back layer so that it would be behind all of you guys. So, with that, Rhodey, you're up first.
Okay. Let's see.
I think my first turn, I'm going to bless everybody.
That's some incredibly spicy ramen.
Rhodey's gonna move around Badger like that because one, she needed to be closer to this thing for what she's about to do, and two, she ain't trying to blast Badger.
I appreciate that.
So, first things first, we're gonna use my new item, and we're gonna have fun. Decanter of Endless Water. And we will be hitting it with a geyser.
Just shake it first like a Coke can.
As you hold out the wonderful little decanter of endless water, it's what, 30 feet?
Yeah.
This giant launching spray of water blasts into the ash snake. What save do I have to make?
I believe it is, yes, DC 13 strength saving throw. And if it fails, it takes 1d4 bludgeoning damage and is prone.
Fucking fire hose.
You can go ahead and give it the damage. However, it is immune to being prone.
That does make sense.
Yeah, snake.
But go ahead and roll
Kind of
damage.
already prone.
Yeah, I got a 15, so, or 12. 12.
Yeah. That would be 3 force damage, and also Rhodey is going to look at this thing as she hits it because I'm assuming that it would disrupt part of its body. So would I be able to make a perception check to see if I can see its core at all?
Sure, make a perception check. As you blast the water like a fire hose all the way down, and it takes a little bit of bludgeoning damage across the face, and the water splashes over the entirety of its form.
Oh, that would be a 5.
Oof.
Badger and Eshkira, you can also make a perception.
So
Got in the way. Badger couldn't see anything.
regular perception, that's a 10.
All right, none of you see it. As the water evaporates off of the snake's form. Anything else you want to do on your turn, Rhodey?
I don't have anything, but my rootin' tootin' little cowboy beignet is gonna shoot it.
Alright. Beignet aims with the little gun, fires. Roll to hit.
Pew pew.
Hold on, I gotta find Beignet's gun.
Aerosmith plays in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bad to the bone. I'm bad to the bone.
What?
Aerosmith. I know. I know that it's not Aerosmith, but I had bad to the bone stuck in my head.
Sorry, I
Okay.
forgot to equip
And so I
Beignet.
changed it to bat to the bone because haha, puns.
Okay, +3 to hit. That's what I needed to know. Oh, Beignet has gotten a 19. He is rootin' tootin' and shooting this motherfucker.
The bullet sings through the air and strikes into the form. A small gout of flame shoots out from the bullet hole.
He does minimum damage of 2.
Let's fucking go. Wait, is his dexterity only +1?
Well, the gun is 1d10 +1.
That's if you're using it, but Beignet's using it. Is his dexterity +1 or +2? Because it's 1d10 plus your dexterity.
Oh, his dex is +2. So then it would be 3. But still minimum damage.
The bullet strikes against the form, leaving that hole, and that small gout of flame comes out, but it's such a small bullet with such a big snake.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Okay, little buddy, you tried.
Beignet spins his revolver and tucks it back into his marsupial pouch.
Alright. Is that your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Trevor is going to... Trevor is going to cast Forest Guardian and make a small little potted plant creature that is going to go right here. He says, if everyone stays around this creature, it should be able to protect you. As this small, like, animated shrub bursts out from the ash. Alright. He's then going to use his bonus action to wing flap up to the top of this rock up here. So he runs forward, flaps his wings, and jumps and kind of glides up onto this like 10-15 foot tall boulder.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a better vantage point.
Kibby, I have a real quick question.
Yeah.
Has it been less than 10 minutes since I did Divine Sense on Trevor's Master?
I don't think so. There was a lot of inspecting of the wand, running around to several different pyres, digging through them, having Martin do that entire search.
Okay, other question. How deeply buried was the snake?
That is an excellent question.
Because my
Why?
range is 60. If he was anywhere near the surface, even at all, I would have sensed him.
Yeah, that's if he was on the map the whole time.
Okay, yeah, valid, I guess. I assumed that he was burrowing and waiting.
Yeah, he was burrowing and actively moving. I rolled stealth for him. He was pretty far away when you guys first came here, but was kind of coming back to his territory.
Okay, because if at any point during those 10 minutes, if he came within 60 feet of me, I would have sensed him.
He was not on the map while you were using your Divine Sense.
Okay.
just so you know.
Thank you.
And even so, the only thing that would have happened was that he would have gotten a surprise round, but Martin found him. Because remember, surprise rounds don't really happen anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, snake gonna snake. Gonna go snake.
Snack's gonna snork.
15, 20,
He's sneak snorking around.
25 to here. And you watch as the snake closes its mouth and it puffs up part of its chest. And you see this large lump just go from about the stomach halfway down the snake, up and up and up the body of the snake to then blast out this, not cone, or not line, breath. A 15-foot cone of smoke and ash blasts into all of you. Because if I measure this cone out from here, yeah. Blasts into all of you and leaves a large cloud of smoke that is difficult to see through. Why are you not doing the thing that I wanted you to do?
Because he doesn't like you.
So, this is heavy obscurement. If you are standing within... Send to map layer. There we go. If you are standing within this cone area, it is heavy obscurement.
Cool.
Are we taking damage? Do we make dex saves?
I do need... Let's see. Beignet and Charles are immune. I need dex saves from Rhodey, Badger, Shakira, and... Does this spell count as a creature?
That's not good.
Not good for Rhodey either.
Could be
That's
better
number
for
4.
Kira.
The shrub does not act as a creature. However, because the snake got within 10 feet of the shrub, it moves its leaves over and fires off a bunch of leaves and twigs that try to hit the snake.
The plant turret.
Yep. And the plant turret hit for 1d4 slashing damage.
I'm just imagining Cactus Cody from hitting you.
3.
Plant turret uses razor leaf.
It's not very effective.
It's
Okay.
like picking the grass starter versus the fire starter.
Yep. So, we got 9 from Badger. Rhodey, what'd you get?
I got a 5, or no, a 4.
And Ashkira?
God, I got a 12.
You all fail. What did Caspian get?
Caspian probably got... let's find out. Caspian did the best out of fucking all of us. God. I don't know what his bonus is, but he rolled a 14.
He's got at least a 2 or 3, which does succeed.
Okay.
So Caspian takes no damage,
Okay.
and everybody else takes 7 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Bad.
7. I can do math.
25. And then the snake is going to use the remaining part of its movement to bury itself underneath the ash. You can still see where it is while it is buried. However, it does have a bonus to its armor class while buried.
Does it leave my threatened space to do so?
Technically, no.
Okay.
Because it is still based on the rules. It just kind of it stays
Still within 10 feet of me.
Yeah, because it stays in this spot, but all it's doing is burying itself under so that it gets extra armor class. You know.
Okay. Rude.
It's not like I'm moving it fully underground to make it inaccessible to hit.
Got it.
Just basically threw a blanket over itself and is pretending.
Yeah, it like just rolls around in the ash and sticks its little face up and goes, haha, you can't see me.
He's like,
And then everybody looks over at it and goes, ah shit, you can see me.
like sticks his little
All right.
nose out of the ash, like,
I'm invisible. Uh-oh. Ashkira, Caspian cannot see, so you can't see through Caspian. However, it is still within your blind sight, so
Yep.
you can see the snake.
Okay, I can also see Badger through my blind sight, so I'm gonna
Mhm.
actually have
And
Caspian.
the snake can still see you as well.
I
from
kind of
its blind
figured
sight.
it might be able to see me as well. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
Caspian kind of be over here and up a little ways, so he's up and out, keeping an eye on things from above.
Okay, so you're using Caspian
Aerial
from
Overwatch.
bird's eye view.
Yeah. And
All right,
then
I'm gonna just take Caspian off the map then, if that works.
yeah, that's fine, because he's gonna just be aerial view. And meanwhile, Kira kind of taps her foot, kind of feeling, earthbending style where Badger is. And I am going to cast, because this seems appropriate and I think it'll kick ass, I would like to cast Rageful Nimbus.
What?
On Badger. So, Badger, a pristine, fluffy white cloud appears above your head.
Not that you can see it.
Not that you can see it, but there's a puffy white cloud above your head.
Okay, what does it do?
It grants me the ability to use my reaction to make a ranged spell attack from the cloud if you take damage from a hostile creature that I can see. And on a hit, it takes 2d8 of lightning damage.
Nice.
So yeah.
And you are concentrating on that?
I am concentrating on it. There's a concentration. It's not concentration?
Gasp!
It's not. It doesn't have the little...
Like gasp?
Okay, well, yeah, no,
Gasp.
it's not. It just lasts... it only lasts a minute, so it's not very long, but that makes sense.
Hey, that's one combat,
Yeah,
pretty
it's one
much.
combat, yeah. Alright, so yeah, you have a little cloud above your head. And that was a bonus action. For my action, I would like to... Can I do some fucky-wucky bullshit? Because I think this is hilarious, and honestly, I feel like it's more fitting than trying to attack it. Can I use, mold earth underneath its head to kind of shove it up so that it can get less coverage? Help kind of negate.
Yeah, as you feel the ground and stomp, a 5-foot cube pushes up the snake's head to boop its head back out of it. I'll say that roll a d4, and we will reduce its armor class by that much.
Okay. That is a 3.
All right. So it has that much AC now.
I figure
Perfect.
it's better for me to help you guys hit it than anything else. So, have fun, guys. And Kira's just gonna stay right there.
All right.
And that'll be my turn. So, Badger, you're up.
Badger? Okay, so... double checking my understanding of how Divine Sense works. I sense anything that pings outsider within my 60 feet.
Correct.
That would include both the snake and the orb.
If they were
Because the
separate
orb-
entities, yes.
Isn't the orb a separate entity? It was with the bats.
You don't know. You would have to use Divine Sense to figure it out.
Well,
because
that's what I'm
it
doing.
did not come. Okay.
I would
As
use my bonus
you-
action to Divine Sense.
As you push out your divine sense, you can accurately see where the snake is, and instead of seeing like a separate entity, you more feel this hard-lined connection between the body of the snake and the orb that is deep within its gut. It seems like that furnace is right where its stomach would be.
Can I sense its location accurately enough to attack it? If the snake's body is made out of ash, I can swing through it to attack the orb, yeah?
The snake's body is not made of ash.
Oh, okay.
But once the snake gets bloodied, I will say you have carved away enough of the crafted flesh to see the orb and start attacking the orb directly. Otherwise, the orb is currently under full cover by the flesh of the snake.
Okay. Badger. Do you guys think it's a better idea for me to go ahead and bless us or take the swing? How many of us are making physical attacks?
I mean, I didn't, but that's because I was
Well,
setting up.
Eshkiro, you're going to be, because the Nimbus is an attack roll.
That is true.
Rhodey.
Brody will probably be making some physical attacks. And
All right.
Beignet as well.
Would you rather me bless you or Beignet?
Honestly, kind of would have you rather bless Beignet.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and use my action to bless myself, Eshkira, and Beignet.
Does it have to be creatures you can see?
Specifically, no. Bless up to 3 creatures of your choice within range.
Within range, let's fucking go. We'll say that because you're like trying to ping outsiders, and you're feeling just this kind of like this breath came from an outsider, but you feel things within it that don't ping for you. You drop a bless on Eshkira, yourself, and little Beignet. The flame on Beignet's nose turns slightly blue. And we'll do this bless. All right. Bless has been applied.
Right. And Charles, not both of us. Charles is going to circle around to its back and attack with flanking.
You don't have flanking yet. Badger would have to step forward because
But Rhodey
can't see it. That does not provide flanking.
Okay, then
Because
Badger
she's
will go
within
ahead and
full blindness,
Badger will
heavy
step to
obscure.
there and have Charles Zardwick go there.
You have to be going through the center of the creature.
There?
So this would count because it barely clips through the center tile. This would count. That would count. That would count. So.
You want to go through?
Then I will go here to give the most flanking to the most people.
Yeah, because this means
all right.
Zard is applying flanking here, here, and here.
Charles is a +2. Why can't I see his... Where is his... Ah, there it is. Yeah, +2. $2d20, keep highest 1 +2. Hey.
16 will hit because you can see its head. It would have missed if it would have stayed under the ash fully.
Let's go.
Good job, Shakira.
Guessing the fire does nothing, only the slashing.
That is correct. No. This thing is resistant to fire, not immune.
Okay, then we'll say so rolling 1d4 plus 1d4. We'll say the first one is slashing, second one is fire.
Brilliant.
Okay, so that's a total of 4 damage.
Alrighty. 4 points of damage.
Good job, little buddy. And that is Badger's turn.
Alright. We go back around to Rhododendron.
Get him, Nut Mom.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see what I want to do.
I will say, Badger, you would be the only one who saw this as well. While Charles attacked and slashed at it, a small gout of flame came out from the wound and sprayed back against Charles. But Charles is immune to fire.
Can Badger relay that? So that the party knows to be... Careful getting too close when you're attacking. It sprays fire when you hit it.
Mm-mm. Okay. Trying to think what would be the best course of action.
Here, let me
How
help
far
you.
up out of the ground is the snake's head?
A decent amount.
Like,
But, actually, you don't know.
I don't know. Oh, right, because
Yeah, because currently this is approximately what you see.
Yeah. So Rhodey's gonna just choop.
Ah! You can see again! Hey, look, its head's about 5 feet out of the ground.
Yes.
Big honkin' snake.
So yeah. So how many feet would you say approximately is his head out of the ground?
Well, yeah, 5.
5. Okay. I'm like, I want to do this because it's funny, but I also don't want to do this because it's not a lot of damage, but it's funny.
Are you gonna boop it on the snoot?
No. I think. Hold on. Give me one moment. Give me one moment.
Gonna make
You know
some
what?
divine coffee.
Rhodey's. Oh wait, no, that's. I can't do that if I do that. Ha ha ha. Going back to In the Woods. Because I know that Kibby sent me this so that I would have it. Mm-hmm.
What are you looking for?
If I were to use Feathered Reach and as a bonus action fly up to double my movement speed, it says I must land once I finish my movement, although you do not take fall damage. Could Rhodey just fly herself up 10 feet in the air and then stay there, kept up by her own wings?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Rhodey's gonna burn her feathered reach that she got from the forest spirit. Or well, the goddess that at the shrine.
Mhm.
And she's gonna fly 10 feet up in the air, looking down directly at this snake's head as it's being popped up out of the ground. And she's going to pull the decanter off, or the lid off of the decanter, and shout geyser as she fucking pile drives this shit straight into its head.
Using a fire hose as a weapon, are you an Atlanta cop?
She's like, during the riots, I had to get crafty. I had a wrench and a fire hydrant.
All right. As you fly above it, let me make sure I send that to back so that you are. So you saying you're flying above it? Is that correct?
Basically, I think I would be like
staying
right.
within its range, but over top it. Correct.
Yeah.
How much reach does it have?
30 feet.
No, how much reach does the snake have?
You don't know because nobody has tried to run away from it yet, and it has not made a melee strike.
Mm-hmm.
That is a. What's your strength? 18.
It would succeed, so it does not take damage.
All right,
But it
gets
blasted in the face with water.
I will say the water that you blast over it washes away its ashen armor, making it go back down to its regular armor class.
Yeah. Rhodey's like, just gotta douse this fucker.
All right.
Weaken it.
Anything else?
Nope, that was my bonus action and my action. Beignet's gonna shoot it.
Beignet would be at disadvantage because it is within 5 feet of it.
Damn.
Unless you want Beignet to waddle away from it.
Well, Beignet's on my shoulders, so he could just fly up higher than I am.
Except that he uses his wings to shoot the gun, so he has to be grounded when he fires.
But think about this. What if he got really high up in the air and then shot it while in free fall?
I think that's just dumb enough to be funny. So Beignet flies up. What's Beignet's speed?
I think he has 30 feet. Yeah, he has 30 feet of flying.
Awesome. The snake is going to take an opportunity attack to try and eat Beignet.
Oh. Yay!
That is going to be a 14 to hit Beignet's armor class.
No, it hits.
Okay, because Beignet is a medium-sized creature or smaller, Beignet is consumed.
Cool.
Beignet has been swallowed. Yes, the ash snake has decided to, instead of dealing its normal piercing damage with a bite, to swallow instead. Beignet takes no damage, but is inside the snake.
Can Beignet shoot the snake from the inside?
Yes, he'll be at disadvantage because he's within 5 feet of his target. Crazily
How
enough.
in this side of it?
That's
The
some
armor.
bullshit.
Well, hang on. The armor class is a lot lower, but think about it. You're being constricted from all sides. It's a little hard to aim at something.
But what if he just aims further down inside of the snake's body? That bullet's just gonna keep traveling through it.
Like I said, we're just doing rules of the game.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
not gonna question it.
You
I'm
wanna
not gonna
complain
sit
more?
here forever
You wanna
and
complain
question
more?
it. Oh, hold on. That
You
one's
can question
caught.
it more.
Oh,
Keep going.
no.
It's fine.
Okay, sorry.
You suddenly hear Badger exclaim something
Sure,
very
roll-
terrifying.
Whatever.
Badger
roll
has an
fucking damage.
idea.
It hits. It's inside of it. It's a gun.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to fight you about it. Oh, he does 10. He hits this thing for 12 damage. That was a 10 plus 2. Beignet is not going down without a fight. He is going to fucking give this thing some serious indigestion.
Cool. Your gun starts to melt because it is a furnace inside of the ash snake. I'm gonna roll the integrity of the fucking weapon.
Cool. Beignet is like, my gun, I give you the 07. You have served me well. You have been funny. As it melts away.
The gun begins to melt. It cannot be fired, but it can be salvaged. If it stays inside the snake for long enough, it will be fully melted.
Okay.
Hey, Rhodey. Not
Roll a
Mom.
d6 and see how many rounds. It has 2 rounds remaining.
Oh, that would be a 1.
Shit.
What?
You said roll a d6?
No, I said I'll roll a d6, and that's how many rounds it has remaining. It has 2 rounds remaining.
Okay.
Hey, not Mom. Can Charles see that decanter? Can he can he borrow it for a second?
Why?
Reasons. Badger just saw Beignet get eaten by the snake, and then looks over at Charles thoughtfully, and goes, "I have an idea."
I think I know what your idea is.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm about to say this. But fine.
Yeah.
And she drops the decanter down to Badger.
Do I need to make a roll to catch it?
No, I'll say you just catch it.
Because,
He catches it like a football.
okay.
Alright. Trevor's turn. He commands his plant to shoot the snake. He misses with a 13. And then he's going to use his action to cast poison spray on it. And yes, this is new poison spray, which means it is an attack roll and has a range of 30 feet. It is not a 10-foot range with a saving throw, so nobody questioned it.
Really? That's what they did with poison spray?
Yeah, they made it better because poison spray sucks ass.
It really did. It really did. I mean, it was high damage, but such short range.
Poison spray misses with a 8. Trevor is going to continue what he's doing. Snake is going to move while burrowed under the ground. It moves its head from around the rock that Ashkira made. Badger, you feel your feet lurch up beneath you as it swims under the ground around you, and it is going to burst up out of the ground over here using its eruption ability. I need Ashkira and Badger to make a dexterity saving throw.
Did Charles get a attack of opportunity as it burrowed away?
Yes, Charles may make an attack roll.
Did he get flanking on that attack opportunity?
I'm
not sure how that works.
Technically, yes, because it still would have been flanking rules when it was moving. Because he's flanking with you, Badger. So yeah, we'll say he gets flanked.
16 to hit.
That will hit.
13 on the dex save.
2 damage. Let's go.
Wouldn't the fire get reduced to nothing?
Technically, it always does at least 1 damage.
Oh, okay. So 2 damage. Right, and you said a dex save for Badger?
Mm-hmm.
14.
14 succeeds.
13.
13 just fails.
Okay.
So Ashkira, you are knocked prone. No damage is done, though.
Lovely.
All right. The snake is then going to make a multi-attack. It's going to try and bite Badger and constrict Ashkira. So against Badger, that will miss as it tries to snap against your armor, but you're able to take your shield and shove back the fangs. And as it twists around Ashkira, that is going to be a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright. You become grappled.
Okay.
And you're going to take... Oh, not too bad. 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Is Ashkira able to use her reaction to make an attack roll? Or is that only if I take damage?
Only if Badger takes damage.
Oh, okay.
Alright, Ashkira, you are no longer prone as you are lifted up about 10 feet in the air as the snake climbs up to quite a tall height.
Okay.
And lifts you with it. Oh, you're grappled and restrained? Oh, that's cool.
Oh, shit.
Another tag on. Blink. There we go. Restrained. Attack rolls against you have advantage. Your attack rolls have disadvantage. You have disadvantage on dex saves. Your speed is 0. Yep. That's basically what happened. That is going to be the Ash Snake's turn. Ashkira, what are you doing? You are restrained.
1 second. I have an idea, and it'd be kind of funny. Mouse, what the hell is your problem? Why is my mouse bugging out? Sorry. Ugh. Let's see. How does the spell work again? Not that one. Scroll for me, please. I need... level 1 spells. Starts with T. There it is. Verbal and somatic is fingers, right?
Yes.
Can I wiggle my fingers?
Yes, it's a little tough, but it's doable.
Can I cast Thunderwave?
Ooh.
As you shift and move your arms as it's wrapped around, you're able to pull one out over the top of the snake, and it constricts further your other arm against you. Normally you clap your hands together, but fuck it. You take your hand and slap yourself across the face, causing this big boom of energy to occur. So that is a Constitution saving throw. Beignet will not have to make any save because he is within the snake and counts as full cover.
Beignet chilling in the tummy.
Alright. So,
fiery Alka-Seltzer.
con save of 16.
Fiery Tums.
That just makes it. That just succeeds.
Anybody have anything to do about it?
Can anyone give me some sort of advantage?
I already did what I can do. I don't think I have anything.
I mean,
I'm not high enough level to condemn it yet.
Silvery barbs?
I have silvery barbs, and I don't think I can do silvery barbs and Thunderwave.
It's a reaction, so yes, you can.
Can I silvery barbs?
I don't know why you'd silvery barbs yourself, but you can silvery
Can I
barbs.
silvery barbs the snake?
Yes.
Okay.
Rolling again. 14.
Fails!
Oop.
Alright, so it takes 2d8 thunder damage and it is pushed 10 feet away from me.
As it is blasted across the way.
And that
Oop.
is 8 thunder damage.
You are no longer grappled or restrained. I will have you make a dexterity saving or acrobatics check to try and land on your feet.
I probably have disadvantage because I'm literally in the air and I'm
Oh, wait.
blind.
Never mind. You have a ring of featherfall, so you drift gently to the ground.
Poor Trevor seeing this giant snake get
Whee!
thrown at him.
Yeah, and it like crashes into the boulder. He's like, "Fuck!"
Yeah. He's like, I was trying to stay away from this thing. Fuck this.
He looks
He's like,
over at Ashir and goes. He looks over at Ashir and goes, "Watch where you're aiming that thing, you bitch!"
I
Didn't
don't
hit
exactly
me.
aim!
Not very druid-like.
He turns to Badger. Sorry, what did you just say?
Said that wasn't very druid-like.
You don't know what druids do!
I know they
Are
don't
you
call
a druid?
people bitches who are trying to help them.
Listen, people like bitch is such a negative term. I just think it shows how strong and confident and absolutely fucking terrifying that was.
Trevor's so full of shit.
Do you have a retort or do you want to take your turn, Badger?
All right, Badger. Charles, come here.
I
And
don't
Badger
move,
gives
but I
him the decanter.
I don't know if I can.
All right, buddy. I need you to listen real close.
Okay.
You're going where Beignet went.
All right. How much thunder damage did you do again? I forgot to mark it down.
8
It was 8?
thunder damage.
Thank you.
And I was gonna take a step or two back. Just to kinda...
Who's going to get it to open its mouth? You're going down inside. And then, I want you to drown the little fucker.
Okay.
All right. Instead of attacking, Badger is going to intimidate the creature. I'm assuming that'll take my full action? Or am I...
What are you trying to do by intimidating it?
I want to I need him to open his mouth. I want him to try and bite me again.
Okay.
With
So you're attempting to taunt it?
yeah, I am taunting it and Charles is basically readying an action to fly down his mouth the second he does.
Roll an intimidation check on a 15 or higher. This will not take your action. On less than a 15, it'll still work, but it will take your action.
16.
All right. The snake lashes over its head and opens it up, doing that same strange hissing, rattling noise that...
Go, go, go.
Whoop, gulp. Oh, sup?
And then
How you doing in here? And Beignet on the inside just has a standing mirror and just does like the sup nod.
Sup.
Charles goes ahead and gives the decanter a little shake like it's a bottle of champagne, uncorks it, and aims it down the thing's gullet.
Cool. That will happen when it goes to Charles's turn at the end of Badger's turn.
Right,
What
and
is Badger?
Badger,
As you've just applied the pill to the snake.
yeah. Badger's gonna badger. Badger is going to swing. Is Trevor able to give flanking?
Let me check the line.
Badger moves to
barely,
here?
But I'll say barely it works.
Okay. Roll 2d20.
Ashkira, because you did cast Silvery Barbs, who did you give the advantage to?
I'll give it to Badger just because I know that he's up next.
I've already got advantage from the
That's right, I'm
flanking.
an idiot. Sorry.
No, you're not.
I'll give it to Ruby.
Yeah, no, that's my title, and I hold it with pride.
No, you and I
2d20
share
keep
a brain
minus
cell.
1.
It means we can share the title too.
Fine, whoever has the brain cell, the other has the title.
Okay, that's
Let's
fair.
fucking go.
Fucking 20.
God,
Get
it's
wrecked.
been a while since a Badger crit happened.
Yes. Badger
Alright, you
will.
want double damage or a card?
You know what? Y'all have been talking up the cards. We're gonna do a card.
The cards are
All right.
always fun.
Say when?
When?
Top or bottom?
Top.
Oh, this is slashing damage, right?
Yes.
You have pulled Follow Up. The attacker, aka you, gets to make one additional attack against the snake immediately. So roll to hit again. Just click that box, push up, and then hit enter.
Okay.
Oh!
No!
Let's go!
How in the shit?
All right, so do you want to pull a card?
Another
You wanna- Okay. Say when.
When?
Top or bottom?
Top.
Okay.
What the shit?
Nicked artery on a DC 18 con save, which it fails. It'll take 1d10 damage at the start of its turn for 1d10 rounds.
Oh my
God.
If maximum damage is rolled, the effect continues for an additional 1d8 rounds. Then 1d6, then 1d4 if max damage is continued to be rolled.
My God. Okay,
All right.
so I have a lot of damage. So the first attack would be a 2d10, keep highest 1 from Savage Attacker.
Uh-huh.
I did burn the last charge on Mercy's Reach for an additional 3d8 because it's an outsider.
That is correct.
Plus, making sure I'm doing my math right, plus 3. So 2d10 keep highest 1 plus 3d8 plus 3.
That sounds right.
Okay, here's that first hit. Oh,
God. Oh my
27 points of
God.
damage.
oh my God. And that immediately gives me 13 temp HP.
Oh, I was gonna say, by the way, you forgot that you're blessed, so you forgot to roll blessed to hit, but you rolled double nat 20, so it doesn't fucking matter.
The dice just said, here, have it.
And then the second one is 2d10 keep highest 1 plus 3.
I can only Savage Attacker is only once per turn, no matter how many attacks I get.
Then just 1d10.
Yeah, 1d10 plus 3. Let's fucking go.
The snake is bloodied.
God.
As you take your halberd and make 2 quick slashes like chopping down a tree, the top cut comes in and opens up this giant fold in the flesh of the snake. You pull out, spin, do an undercut to chop out just this giant lump of flesh that hits the ground sizzling. A gout of flame blasts back against you, Badger, and you will take 2 fire damage.
So I'm down to 11 temp.
Oh no. And because you only took damage to your temporary hit points, you don't have to make a concentration check. Because concentration checks only happen when you take actual hit point damage, not temp hit point. That's a new thing in 2024.
Yep.
By the way, the snake is going to be bleeding for 3 rounds, or more if good damage
Yeah.
is rolled. So
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm done with my turn. Charles, shake spray.
Pop
All
the
right.
champagne.
yo, geyser, my dude. Water blasts. Go ahead and just roll a d4. I will need a strength save from Beignet, who is also inside of this.
Whee! Water slide.
God.
I was imagining
Um,
water coming out the gouges of the snake.
Yeah, Badger, fire just blasts against you, and you're like, I'm on fire. And then water hits you shortly after and goes, oh, not on fire.
Oh god, Beignet's strength is -4.
God.
Let's go. Come on.
0! I got a 4!
0. Beignet is just with a very satisfying blasted out of the wound created earlier, blasted back into Rhodey's ample bosom. Wet.
Whee!
He took 3 damage. Has been
Oh. he is now unconscious.
This unconscious shivering wet bat hits your tits.
Oh no. Poor Beignet.
That's a sentence.
Happy Pride, everyone.
I'm also gonna make another check real quick. Okay. The water blasts against the orb, and Badger, looking into the wound, you see some of the tethers of flame that are puppeting the body of this snake begin to snap.
I see ya, bitch.
All right. Good turn.
And does the water do damage or?
Yeah, 3.
It did
Oh,
one.
3 was the damage. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a turn.
Rhodey's immediately just gonna healing word on Beignet.
Beignet wakes up and coughs dramatically. Just
And she's just gonna be like, I think you've done enough for today.
Beignet takes their wing and does a woe is me over their own head. And you look down further and see the half melted gun stuck in the marsupial pouch.
Yeah.
We'll take care of that later for you.
I
Okay.
got him out of there before the Glock melted.
Yeah, no, he's gonna be able to keep his gun. Quick question for Kibby. I have mending. Could I use that on the gun to just fix it?
Mending takes 1 minute, but yes, after combat.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it in combat. I just wanted to make sure before I attempted to do it out of combat that was something that I could do, or would I have to
Yeah,
take
it
it?
still has all of the pieces properly
Yeah.
connected to it.
Yeah, it's just melted. Okay. So yeah, she's bonus action, uses healing word. She uses her 1 free cast for the day. And just heals up Beignet so that he's healthy. And then what do I want to do to this fucker? You know what? Guiding bolt.
You can't because you already cast a leveled spell.
Oh, poo. You know what? Toll the dead.
Oh no! Whip 'em! Oh, I got a 19 on the die.
Fuck. Okay.
Your kabong has failed.
My kabong has failed. Unfortunately. Okay. I think that's everything that Rhodey can do. Because that was bonus action and action.
All right. Oh, no, never mind. I was gonna say something, but I realized, nope. Trevor's gonna use bonus action to make the leaves shake. Oh, that hits with a 15.
Let's go, Trevor. Let's see some big damage.
4 max damage.
Let's go.
That was his bonus action. He's then going to twirl the living staff in his hands around his back and try and look really cool, and use the staff of the adder to smack against the ash snake at advantage because Badger is there. That will hit. So the adder staff is going to do 1d6 piercing for piercing and 3d6 poison.
Nice.
11 poison for a total of 15 points of damage. Trevor is then blasted with a gout of fire that deals 9 points of fire damage.
Ooh, ow. He looking okay?
He's not bloodied.
Okay.
But he
Remind
does
me,
go-
is bloodied half or a quarter?
bloody is half.
Okay.
He goes, oh god, that just palindromed my health. He was at 21, he's now at 12.
Oh,
So,
God.
It palindromed his health. Use his action and bonus action. He could move. He is going to step back and then fall off the rock backwards. That first step gives him half cover, and then as he falls backwards, the snake is going to try and launch out to him. That is going to be a 17, which misses from the half cover that put his armor class to 18
Nice.
as he hits the dirt below and stands up and goes, yeah, that's right, you bitch.
Throwing
I was
that word
directed
around
at the
now.
snake. I just want to be very specific. I know you can't see me right now, so that was aimed at the snake. Do you have any other insults that I could call this snake that may be more apt? Because I don't think that, you know...
We tried calling it a poor excuse for a phallus.
Or a wet noodle.
Wet noodle. Sad spaghetti.
Sad spaghetti.
A dumb, wet spaghetti noodle.
You sad Getty.
Sad getty.
Sad spaghetti.
Sad skitty.
I'm gonna see which person the snake is gonna attack because it's mad at Badger and Trevor now. It burrows
Badger
down.
did intimidate it.
It burrows down under the ground and is gonna go after Trevor. 10. As it moves to here, Badger, you do get an attack of opportunity.
Roll. I'm guessing not with advantage.
I don't
1d20.
believe so.
Yeah. But I do have bless, which is a 1d4.
Yep.
Okay, so 1d20 plus 1d4 plus 5.
That hits.
23. Roll 2d10, keep highest 1. I will go ahead and burn another divine favor. That'll be my last spell slot.
You mean another Divine Smite?
So, yes, sorry, I meant divine smite.
Divine Smite is a bonus action.
You had ruled that divine smite was not a bonus action.
Yeah, but I'm mad at you guys right now, so...
Okay.
You guys
So
need
2d10.
to learn. You don't argue. Matt, our friend Stein has learned. You don't argue with God. It just ends up getting shitty. Like you just end up getting bitch slapped around for it.
Yeah, I bend the rules when I'm happy. I'm a bitch when I'm not.
Plus 3. Keep highest 1 plus 3.
10 damage. The snake, knowing it's kind of on its last legs. By the way, the gout of fire that sprays out from the snake only goes 5 feet, so Badger, you are safe and do not take any damage. And it burrows over to here, launching upwards. Trevor makes a dex save. Trevor fails a dex save, getting knocked prone. And then the snake is going to make 2 attacks against it. 8 hits. And constrict also hits. So the bite is going to deal... this bite could knock him out. The bite knocks him out. That is 12 points of damage. And then the constrict means Trevor automatically fails 2 death saves.
Oh no, Trevor. We'll save you.
I mean, I do actually like the little guy.
I don't. Fucking asshole kind of deserves it.
I mean, can you really say that he deserves it when we're actively helping him fight the fires ravishing this land? You know, him trying to do a good thing.
He made me stay in the air for fucking how many hours?
My pterodon wasn't gonna drop you.
I know it wasn't gonna drop you. It's the principle of someone who can't see being elevated and not knowing how far they are off the fucking ground.
It was kind of ableist, yeah.
I mean, I can agree there, but like...
Just because I trust that you won't drop me doesn't mean it wasn't fucking terrible. We'll still save the fucker. Or try to.
Mm-hmm.
The snake is going to use the rest of its movement to bury itself underground again. Shkira.
Did it take Trevor with it if it's...
Yep.
That's breaking my brain. I'm like, how do you stay constricted around something and bear it?
Oh shit, I accidentally gave myself the wrong thing.
Okay, let's see. What do I want to do?
Logically, doesn't make any sense. By the game's
Yeah.
rules, I'm fully allowed to do this.
Yeah, no,
What
no,
the
I do get that. I just am like, logically, I'm like, that breaks my brain. I wasn't arguing against it. I was just like, how? Let's see. So is it under the ash or is it underground? Underground.
It's under the ash.
Okay. Can I, if I move to here, that's my full movement. Can I sense Trevor with my blind sight?
Yep.
Can I cast Sanctuary on Trevor?
Sure.
Okay. Then I will cast Sanctuary on Trevor.
Do you have Spare the Dying?
I do, but I can't get over to touch him, and he's underground.
Oh, right, it's a touch-based spell.
Yeah. But I can at least distract the snake and do Sanctuary so it can't technically attack him, I think. Without being at disadvantage, I think is how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was my bonus action. And then, do I have 10-foot range on this? I don't remember if my Songil is range. It is!
Oh
range.
shit, I already burned my reaction, never mind.
And then with my action, and I know I have my...
And I also rolled damage for the bleeding, by the way.
Cool.
Oh, how much did it bleed?
5.
Noise.
I know I'm not likely to hit, but I'm gonna stab with my Songil. Because it does have a 10-foot reach.
Alright.
So I know it's at disadvantage, right?
Nope. You can still see it, it just has a higher armor class.
Okay. That is a
Don't forget your 1d4. Thou art blessed.
Thou art blessed. That is true. Okay, that is 10 plus. Something has a plus 6 to hit. No, it's plus 5 to hit. So, 19.
Nice.
How do you want to do this? It has 2 hit points left, and your minimum damage kills it. You do, from a go to fire, take 3 points of fire damage.
I will take the 3 fire damage. I kind of step.
I thought you said it only goes 5 feet away.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
Okay. I kind of do my tapping, kind of figuring out where it is, and then I just like 2-hand take it and just spear downwards and just impale this thing's head.
You watch as Eshkira, you are lifted up into the air as the snake begins to flail back and forth, ripping its head back and forth, whipping around before it slowly releases its grip, and Trevor falls into the ash, and so do you, pulling your spear out.
Got it!
Alright. Let me put you back to where you were. I believe
orb.
that's your full turn.
That is my full turn, because that was all my movement.
Awesome. Badger, it's your turn.
Okay, so combat is not over. The orb is still a threat. 2, 3, 4,
And
5.
Trevor's
Is the orb fully exposed now?
As you run over and look into the giant wound that Charles is kind of pulling himself out of, you see the glowing orange orb begin to fluctuate and pulse. Boof, 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 boof. As the tethers are snapped, the orb begins to crack, but it seems like it's going to detonate.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Then, can I grab Trevor as part of my movement action? Part of my movement, rather?
He's unconscious and smaller than you, so you run up and grab Trevor, lifting him up onto your shoulder.
Yeah. Okay, so for my main action, I go ahead and dash. And so I run up to the snake. I see the snake I see the orb starting to pulse. Charles, get out of there! And
Okay.
Why? Rather than stopping, making a 180 and turning and running back the way I came, Badger just keeps on, just basically scoops him while running.
Okay. Any bonus actions?
As my bonus action, I will go ahead and dump all of my temp into healing him.
And how much is that?
11.
11. You hear the... Oh.
I gotcha.
Oh.
That way, if there is some kind of shockwave, he doesn't immediately fucking die.
He looks at you and goes, oh, I guess I really am a princess, aren't I?
God.
Nice callback. Good.
Love it. All right, that is Badger's turn. Charles books it out of there. Charles will take the dash action and just fly straight the fuck up. Which for him, his fly speed is 30. So yeah, he's now 60 feet in the air.
Cool. Rudy.
And just as a flavor thing, I kind of try to shield Trevor with my body in case there's a shockwave coming.
All right.
So it's my turn now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to move Charles over here just to be like, yeah, he flew super high up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a touch. That's a buzz. I'm just taking a look at what I have. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Da. Is an action. Hold on. I don't think I. Well, actually. What would a 30-foot radius look like? Like, centered on me, what would it look like? Oh, damn. Okay. Cool. Rhodey's gonna, like... run... Yeah, Rhodey's gonna run up here. And then... boop. One over to and capture Trevor and Badger. And also kind of be a little bit partially obscured by the rock. And Rhodey is going to use Twilight Sanctuary. This is something I don't think I've done before. Or if I have, it was a long time ago. She casts Twilight Sanctuary, and basically what everyone sees is like she pulls out her holy symbol, and very dim, pretty sparkling twilight just engulfs this entire radius. And Badger and Trevor are going to gain 1d6 plus 4 temporary hit points.
Oh, nice.
Buff them up a little bit.
Do you roll it or do we roll it?
Hold on. This your moves with you in the last round. Creature. Teacher. I think you roll it. It doesn't really say. It just says that I can, whenever a creature, including you, ends its turn in the sphere, you can grant that creature one of these benefits.
Whenever a creature ends its turn.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything.
Oh, poo. Well, actually, it will help. It'll buff Trevor.
Yeah.
It will buff Trevor.
Yeah. It won't buff Badger, which I'm not really worried about Badger, considering he got like 13 temp hit points.
Yeah.
So
not anymore. I spent all my temp hit points to heal Trevor, but I've still got 34 hit points. I'm probably okay.
Yeah. So I'm not super concerned about Badger. I'm more concerned about buffing Trevor. It will work for Trevor, so I'm gonna do it.
And it says you grant it temporary hit points, which means that you're the one who rolls it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then it would be 1d6 plus 4. That would be 6.
All right, so Rhodey, as your turn ends, you grant yourself 6 temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Beignet is being...
I didn't say that I ended my turn.
Well, then you don't get the temporary hit points yet, so don't roll early. It says when you end a turn.
Okay. Because I just wanted to see one more thing.
Time for celebratory coffee.
Haha, it's a bonus action. Doesn't
This
duration 1 minute. Neither of these are concentration. Beautiful. I'm gonna also cast Sanctuary on Trevor.
I already cast Sanctuary on Trevor.
I'm gonna cast Sanctuary on Badger.
All right.
Doesn't Sanctuary just prevent them from being targeted by an attack?
But, Rhodey, that's 2 level spells, isn't it?
No, Twilight Sanctuary ability.
Oh, Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that was my channel divinity. So, and then this is a
Okay.
bonus action for sanctuary, and it's you ward a creature within range until the spell ends. Any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack roll or a damaging spell must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw, or either choose a new target or lose the attacker spell. Yeah,
Yeah, I guess an AoE effect, it does absolutely nothing, unfortunately, because he's not targeted.
then let me see what else I might be able to do with this leveled spell slot. Let's see what other bonus
You can always do a
actions.
word of healing on me.
Yeah, I've got healing word, sanctuary.
I think I'm giving Trevor half cover with my body right now.
You could always use moment to think to take the search or study action, or utilize an item.
Yeah, I think. Or hold on, let me take a look at something. If I were to throw the don't hit me juice at the sphere, would that work?
Oh,
It's kind
I
of-
actually have a slot left.
inside the snake, so
It's exposed though.
No, it's starting to like float out of the snake. I mean, it does say it cannot attack, cast a spell that affects an enemy, or deal damage to another creature.
It would be pacified for 1 minute, so I think it would be enough time for us to make an escape.
Yeah, as you cast moment
yeah.
to think.
I'll cast moment to think. I'll pull the elixir out of my hands, or out of my bag. Not
Everything
out of my hand.
slows around you. You see Badger, who is charging away, Trevor, who's starting to freak out at the explosion that's imminent, and everything just slows around you. You
Charles hitting the bong mid-flight.
and
He's
you
like,
pop the cork from the bottle and launch it through the air, and as you do, it leaves your grasp and then stops about 5 feet from you. And as your spell sits and takes effect, you look down at Beignet, who's shielding the gun from the blast.
Cradling it like it's his child.
Time speeds up again, and the potion flies through the air and smashes against the orb.
Worried about Ashira.
as soon as it hits, I feel like Rhodey would just scream, "Run like a motherfucker!"
I'm going to roll a wisdom save for the orb. If it succeeds, it's still going to detonate. If not, it'll detonate in 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Oh, yes.
All right, so is that the end of your turn?
I would say yeah.
All right, as your turn ends, you may now roll 1d6 plus 4 and gain that many temporary hit points.
Okay. That would be 7. 7 temp HP.
It is now Beignet's turn.
Beignet is still recovering. I don't think he's doing anything.
Pressing his gun.
He's holding his gun close to him. He doesn't want to lose it. So yeah,
All
that. Then Beignet would get temp HP.
Yep, roll 1d6 and add 4 and give that many temp hit points to Beignet.
Ooh, Beignet gets 9 temp HP.
let's fucking go. All right. Trevor looks back at the situation, sees what's happening, and is going to wild shape into a riding horse. Just hide Trevor on the GM layer. He's going to use his action to try to shove Badger a little extra distance. Natural 20 to hit. Badger, you feel the horse hooves that as Trevor grows larger and larger, clopping down behind you, back kicking you, you are flung an additional 5 feet forward. Because it was a crit, we'll say 10 feet, so you would technically be slightly off the map.
He just, pick me up and carry me.
Because he's going to then run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, scoop up Eshkira for 35 and 40, 45, 50, 55, and then toss you down 60 feet away. Or that's the 60-foot movement speed.
Okay. Well, thank you.
That's a lot of movement speed.
And then the snake detonates because it got an 18 on the wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to need everybody that is within 30 feet. Yep. Badger, you are just barely safe. Because you're technically one space off the map.
Okay.
Eshkira,
And Charles is 60 feet in the air.
Yeah. Actually, technically, it would be kind of this. 30 feet's a little bit weird when it comes to orbs.
Yeah, because it depends on where you're putting it.
Yeah, Rhodey, Badger, you're both... Oh, man, I don't know. Because if I do this, then it obviously hits Rhodey, and it would hit Badger, too. If I did this, it would still hit Eshkira. And all of this is still 30 feet. Because game rules are weird. So, let's see.
The templates
1,
that I've
2,
always
3,
seen
4,
go
5,
straight out.
6, 7. Someone roll a d6.
I'll do it.
Okay. We'll let Badger roll.
May Kibby bless these dice. 5.
2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Rhodey and Trevor and Badger will have to make the save.
Mm-hmm.
So, dexterity
Dex?
saves from Rhodey, Badger, and Horse.
Fuck.
Oh god, that's just a 10.
My 2.
Trevor also failed. So, I don't have enough dice right in front of me for this. Ooh, low roll, let's go!
Holy
14 points of fire damage.
that's a lot of ones.
That is
You guys are lucky.
5-1.
14 points of fire damage to Badger, Rhodey, and Trevor's horse form, which knocks him back into regular form.
Badger is bloodied.
As
Oof.
Eshkira, you watch the horse form just take the absolute brunt of the fire damage in front of you, then getting blasted into the pigeon form again. Oh.
He just gets, I imagine he just gets flung forward and Kira just kind of catches him.
Oh, God, that sucked.
Rhodey's temp HP just barely made it so that she didn't get bloodied.
Everyone alive?
Yeah.
I think so.
Alive.
Badger immediately goes over to inspect the remnants of the orb.
As
Martin
you look
just
over,
pops up
you're
out of nowhere.
picking up what seems that the orb is like a hollow crystal structure made up of several different kind of octagonal shapes all pressed together. And each
Like a buckyball?
single, kind of like a soccer ball, but, with octagonal shapes instead of 5.
Yeah, buckyball.
Never heard of it called that.
I don't remember where the term comes from, but yeah. It's not like a sports ball. It's not used in any kind of sport. For some reason, it's the name of that shape.
A hollow spherical module composed of a large number of carbon atoms. So no, because they're not round.
Okay.
It's almost like the thing that I described already. Crazy.
I was you're saying.
Everyone make a perception check. Except for Badger, you might not be able to. Well, you're on the northern end of that rock. It's a little bit shorter. Yeah. Everyone make a perception check.
13.
17.
Damn, Rhodey's rolling like shit. That's just a perception. That is a 7.
Yeah, Trevor doesn't see shit either. So, Badger, as you're looking at the pile of crystal shards that is in your hand, and you picked up as many as you could, you see light begins to refract off of them. And as you move them around in your hands, you turn your head over past the rock as Trevor and Ishkira are kind of talking to each other slightly, and Rhodey, are you, I'm assuming, kind of looking either down at Badger or Ishkira, if you're okay with that? Otherwise, you're just quiet.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. And as all of your friends and allies are distracted, Badger, you stand up and look over the rock, and a single form crests over that stone.
Over which stone?
The stone directly beside you.
Okay. What is the... Oh.
Oh, shit.
The towering form of this great blaze is swirling towards you. This vortex of a tornado of flame rushing in your direction. And it is at that point that you all hear the hollowing scream. Suddenly, bursting onto the scene,
We do not have the resources for this. I have exactly 1 spell slot left.
I thought you used your 1 spell slot.
No, it turns out I actually still had my once-a-day Divine Smite left. So that was my last thing. I have 1 spell slot and 1 Channel Divinity, and that is it.
No, that's not good.
All my charges on my helm are used. All my charges on my weapon are used.
Damn.
Here's one.
Like, there's something I could have done to get us out of this situation if I was at fucking level 5.
All right. As the great blaze rushes up onto the scene, do you fight or flee?
I think we can run, guys.
Yeah, we don't.
Rhodey's already booking it in the other direction.
Yeah,
All
I think we're all running.
Brilliant. Then, as you all begin to sprint and flee, the tornado of flame begins its pursuit. I'm going to need everybody, as you are sprinting along, charging through the ash. You can't see where your foot's gonna fall. It's hard to tell if there's a stray branch or rock or divot under your feet. So I'm gonna need everybody to either come up with a way to clear away the ash in front of you, or to make acrobatics checks to avoid falling prone. We will go in turn order of what we had before. So, Rhodey, do you have anything that you can do to assist?
Rhodey's spamming Geyser in front of her to clear out the ash in front of her.
Charles still has your decanter.
She has snatched it from Charles.
Yeah, we're not necessarily in turn order. You guys can like help each other, throw items
Okay.
around. That's all.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, so she...
Badger calls out to Charles. Charles, give not mom back the decanter. The wine bottle.
All right.
She
You're really
catches it.
basic line.
She's leading the charge, and she is just dumping water in front of her.
Hosing out the path.
Because you're using your actions to hose down the path, you're not running as fast as your allies. Just so you're aware.
Has the
Mhm.
most mass, so Badger will lead the charge to create as much of a wake behind him as he can, to give the others a clearer path.
Hold on a minute. Kibby, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I kind of wanted... Well, hold on. I need to see if there's... it takes you up to one companion per level. So, up to one companion per level. That would be level 4. This is a silly question. Is there a way that I could use Decanter of Endless Water and conjure Ferryman?
When standing on a riverbank or on the shore of some other body of water, I do not believe this counts as a body of water.
Shit. Because I'm like, if we could have just somehow fucking used the decanter as a body of water, technically, and conjured Ferryman, we could have rode that shit out of there.
So what's the ferryman's speed?
Just says range of 90 feet, concentration up to 1 hour. And it just says...
Normally you'd be just going along the speed of the water. If it was trying to row through just a splash of the geyser, I don't really think it would work.
I have a
Mhm.
couple things I can do, if I might ask. There's one question I do have for you, Kibby, because it's kind of not quite the use for this spell, but honestly, I could see it being useful this way.
Mhm.
I still have Apalachi's light prepared. Can I use it not to as the reaction, but rather just to be a fucking flashbang to just disorient this thing for a second?
Sure. Let me roll a save.
It's let's see, con save. So probably is fine.
That is a 15. That fails.
Okay. So I'm not gonna do the damage. I'm just doing the blinded thing. Because I'm using it non-standardly. So it's blinded until the start of its next turn. So we get an extra round basically to jumpstart our.
Yeah, it's kind of blindly charging, but it can't really dash towards you as fast. So
Yeah. So that was my.
Rhodey's clearing away the path with water, but is slowing down
Actually,
slightly because of that.
About that, what if we retcon? It actually would make more sense to let Charles keep the decanter, have him ride on my shoulder, and have him fire hose out the path. Because that way his speed isn't affected. He can just focus on clearing the path while I move for him, rather than Rhodey lagging behind in speed.
Yeah.
Is
Do
that
you guys
amenable?
want to continue to like plan
yeah.
like this too?
I'd be fine with that.
Okay, so Charles is on my shoulder, fire hosing the ash in front of me as I run.
All right. So Badger has a way through. Rhodey, what are you doing?
I'm leaving a wake for her.
That's not fine. Sure, whatever.
I mean, that was kind of my plan as well, was if I had the decanter, it was to clear the path ahead of us. So,
Sure, you get away. Yeah.
Since they're up there, I was gonna have Martin be a scout ahead.
As you are running away, casually blasting the water ahead of you, all running in a single file line, the flaming specter attempts to follow you. After being blinded for that first round, it seems like it's catching up right on your heels. And then, at some point, you watch it slows down. Like its form is being forced to slow down after walking to a certain area. Almost like it's tethered to a place. It tries to push forward, but can't quite breach that little extra wall. But it's slowly moving forward. And as you have made it far enough away, it looks at you all, turns back, heading deep into the Scorched Grove once again. So, since we skipped the chase sequence, that is going to be the end of today's episode. Because I didn't have anything else ready.
Badger just starts going over everybody's injuries, making sure nobody's too seriously wounded. That thing was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, too bad it wasn't that scary because water, I guess.
It was definitely scary.
Nah, because you got away perfectly, easily.
Disagree.
That's the music. This is the music that should be playing. Why was that not playing? Ah.
Well, we got away. Got to figure
We
out what to
did.
do next time.
Sorry, I
We
didn't have anything
definitely-
else planned.
We definitely need a long rest as soon as possible. Do we want to? Are we going to try and go
read
back
ahead
to
in the
Humblewood?
book. Give me a few minutes so I can read ahead in the book and see what actually comes next and see if I can't do it on the fly.
Mhm.
You don't have to.
It's all right.
Let's see. Let's see. Outrunning the fire. Skipped. Fleeing. Skipped. Alright, let's see. Let's see. A large part of the forest seems to have been burned away in the wake of the aspect of fire, but it seems to have mysteriously given up its chase. The party makes it back to the city safely, and having heard and felt the massive aspects movement, the council is eager to hear a first-hand account of what happened in the grove. As you all make it into the council, the news that you spread is what?
That there's
Um,
a giant fire elemental, but it seems to be tethered to a specific place within the Scorched Grove.
Badger will relate the information about the orbs that are controlling things, from the elemental snake to the ember bats. These orbs seem to be responsible for the strange behaviors we've seen, and Badger can't be sure, but Badger thinks that aspect might be behind the orbs.
Or something else, because we have found spell circles, we found what appears to be a spell book, possibly a wand. There's something else contributing to all this.
Wasn't sure whether we wanted to drop the bomb about there being a potential.
I think that would be
bird folk.
that's something that I think we should talk directly to Beta about, because we know that she herself has wanted to make moves to stop these fires.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that Beta and
Yeah,
Brenna,
they trust her.
Brenna's the captain of the, yeah, those two would be the ones that I would most trust with that information.
Agreed.
I would not trust anyone else on the new council, especially any other bird folk at this point, just because we know that it was a bird folk person who was using this staff.
Question: you said that some of the old Burfolk Council made it onto the new Humblefolk Council.
Yes.
But that implied not all. Do we have
That
like
is
a
correct.
list? Do we know who on the previous Birdfolk Council opted not to join the new Humblefolk Council?
Let's see. The raptor, which is a small-sized folk, the luma did not join, and the corvum did not join.
Corvin was one of the three races that Trevor said the wand might have belonged to. Do we have a name for this fellow?
I'm trying to look through my notes because I wasn't expecting you guys to be here, so give me like 3 minutes to try and find it.
Mhm.
No worries. Do we want to just take a quick pause, quick break?
Sure.
Little
Okay.
bio break.
Yes. Badger's gonna go use the little paladin's room again.
I mean, I wouldn't mind just wrapping up. I'm getting tired.
That works too.
Yeah.
I'll leave a bio either way.
All right. I'll once Badger gets back, I'll just give you guys the rest of the information. I'll get the name of the Corvum later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's something we can save a little bit more for next session.
Would have taken you about a day and a half to get back, so everybody take a long rest as well.
Mm-hmm.
We lose our overridden health, right?
Yeah.
Badger's back.
Go ahead and take a long rest as well, because it would have taken you a day and a half to get back to Alderheart.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically talking to Benna and Speaker Beta, they accept the news with sadness, anger, concern, and confusion. Whatever this creature is, it represents a threat to all life in the wood. Many elementals have resided in and around the forest for centuries, but this one harbors a rage that the council does not understand. Beta says, the first rule of battle is to know thine enemy. And the lore keepers over at the Avium, and maybe Dean Winsworth might be able to assist you again. He is incredibly knowledgeable and may be able to offer some insight on the situation. As they know that you are, as they know who you are and how helpful you have been, they hopefully should still be perceptive and able to take your advice and listen to you carefully. It's the home to the largest library in the woods, and its tomes may be your best chance at finding answers. We here at the council are interested in any information that can be found regarding this creature, and more than that, we would welcome a means of defeating it. In the meantime, we will rally the Perch Guard in case Alderheart should come under threat. Now please do embark urgently on a quest to stop this creature before it consumes the land. Thick plumes of smoke begin to arise from the massive blaze that you outran and can be seen from Alderheart's canopy. The news of both the awoken creature and its destruction has wrought, that the destruction it has wrought spreads through the city quickly. However, the thoughts of there being a person intermingled with this creature stays close to the chest of Beta and Benacera. Trevor thanks you very much for returning him to Alderheart safely, though a bit singed and missing a few feathers. Trevor is granted the rank of Summer Blossom for his valor, and he promises to you that he will heed the effort, or he will head the effort to quell the forest fires that the Aspect has started. If he does not return, then I skip that part. Many volunteers, both Humblewood, Humblefolk and Birdfolk, sign up to help quell the still raging flames and assist any of those injured in the blaze. You are all given special requisition from the council to aid in fulfilling their mission to stop the creature. All of you are given an unassuming piece of parchment stamped with the seal of Alderheart, and the requisition can be used to in substitute of 500 gold pieces worth of equipment from any shop in the city. This can be all from separate stores or the same place. It can be used to pay for a portion of an item such as a weapon or a piece of armor, or magical item, with the rest being needed to be paid in coin.
Mm-hmm.
From the tenders, you are also awarded another feathered helm. This time, a feather comes from a strig. But you can swap it out, should you choose, for a feather from a luma. As Trevor will offer one and offer to bless the helm with the power of the luma. So it is your choice of strig or luma.
What's the difference between the two?
Strig lets you cast Divine Favor with 1 charge and Pass Without a Trace with 2 charges. Luma, you can use it to cast a random first level spell from the Sorcerer spell list, and then roll a d20. On a 20, you may use the ability again without expending a charge. On a roll of a 1, the spell also targets you, unless you are its only target, in which case the spell fizzles to no effect. Any spell cast using the helm that requires a saving throw has a spell save DC of 16.
So it's a wild magic.
Kind of sounds like it.
I kind of like the strig one more.
Go for it.
Okay, we're gonna go with the strig.
Okay. Whoever wants it, it does require attunement. But while wearing it, you can use one of its 3 charges to cast Divine Favor, and 2 to cast Pass Without a Trace.
Kira, how many things do you have attuned?
2. I believe.
That 3.
Because Rhodey also has 3, and I have to swap things around if I want to use the Staff of the Vineyard or Juju. So, Kibby, the thing that Kira got, the Staff of Firebolt, or the Firebolt Flicker, does that require attunement?
No, it does not.
I think Kira should take this helmet then. Because that way she's not having to swap out any of her attuned things to take it. Would you be cool with that?
Yeah, but I'd probably take the Luma one then.
Okay.
The Firebolt Flicker, I forgot to mention, also acts as a torch. It always sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet.
Y'all want to know something funny? Because Foresight's always 2020. Rhodey totally could have used her Ghost Arbor to not take any damage from the explosion. And I just forgot that I had it.
Alright, with that, that is the end of Chapter 3.
Woohoo! We did it!
The next chapter will be exploring the mysteries of the Avian.
Alright, we killed a giant snake, guys. Good job.
Mm-hmm. And we hightailed it out of that burning forest away from that gigantic fucking fire creature. We fought one and noped the fuck out on the other.
Yeah, there was no way we were gonna survive that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm definitely good to call stream there. We can be back the next
Keys.
Anything you need
Badger.
to add to the home screen?
I can't really think of anything.
Beignet's melted gun.
No,
Replace-
I feel like in the time that
Yeah, you would have mended it by now.
Rhodey would have absolutely mended it.
Oh yes, the orb.
The orb.
I almost feel like it needs like a Looney Tunes style bomb.
Hang on, I'm using the Shafir's skull to decide how large it is. That's
She's got to scale it properly.
It is 1 Eshkura head in size.
Mm-hmm.
Can we put a princess dress on Trevor? Because he is now officially a princess.
The Looney Tunes style bomb.
Yes, the Looney Tunes bomb. That was a hell of a fight, though.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, those back-to-back nat 20s made up for all the shit rolls last session.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking right.
That was fucking epic. Coffee.
Yay, Trevor's princess dress. He's gonna be the prettiest girl at the party.
Oh, it fits him perfectly, too. Like, it perfectly matches his neckline.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's funnier.
God, the Monty Python hand coming down.
That was really funny.
Rescuing Rosante.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Gets him tight.
Oh yay, the hand of Kitty.
Holding the pride flag.
Yes. The hand of our great Lord Kibby.
Indeed. Kibius Maximus.
Can you see the auras coming off of the hands as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. I just learned how to do that, so I want to make sure it was working.
The divine light of Kibby's hand. There's a fly in my room attacking my drink.
Oh no.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't getting my vodka.
Your Russian potato water?
Yep. My mom found Cosmopolitan mix at the store. It's very nice.
Nice.
Because I am a fruity drinker.
A badger's gonna go play some cyberpunk.
Sounds good.
Have fun.
I'm gonna hang up here. Or I'm gonna
No.
end the stream, so there we go. We've received the God Hand.
Bye,
Yes,
everybody.
God.
On screen.
Have a good
Bye.
night, everyone. We will see you all next week.
Yes.
For more Dungeons and Doobles.
Yep. For all
Dungeons and
more
Doodads.
Dungeons and what the fuck is wrong with all of us?
Doobles and Doodads, baby.
Yep.
Doobles and Doodads.
Yep.
Nettle.